Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race recap for Season 8, Episode 1, titled Keeping It 100. My name is Joe Betance, and I am joined by two amazing co-hosts from the podcast Dubious Intent. Welcome back for our second season, Daniel J. Brewer.
Well, thank you, Joe Betance. Thank you so much for welcoming me back. I feel very welcome. It is a lovely evening here in Connecticut. It's very spring is in the air. RuPaul's Drag Race Season 8 has started. I enjoyed a fun night out at the bar watching it last night with a bunch of people. I'm ready to talk about it. So
you're ready to talk about it.
I am.
It must have been a really fun night because I talked to Daniel Lee like, I didn't go to work today because and I was like, what? I don't know what today is. I'm like, oh, I don't know what happened last night. Okay. And from the podcast pod is my co-pilot, the newest addition to our team. Please, Daniel, you're the only one here. Yes. Give a warm welcome to Taylor the Latte Boy.
Hello.
I welcome thee.
Thank you.
Courtesy.
I feel as though with this week's final episode of Downton Abbey, the season ending, immediately falling into RuPaul's Drag Race, I've reached an arc in my life that I'm not sure what it means, but I'm happy to go along for the ride.
You're just
It's a show about endings and beginnings.
Yes.
You're hoping that somebody's to see what is it? What do they say when they replace RuPaul, like Carson, like basically like RuPaul's hands start shaking and then like they have to like use Carson Kressley as the new RuPaul or whatever after they fire him. That'll be great.
Yeah, yes. This is like an inside Downton Abbey
It
joke?
is really, honestly, we've gone into the weeds here. We're in downtown Arby's territory here right now. So
yeah.
All right. Let's get to the show.
And that's what I bring to the show, bringing us into the weeds within the first 2 minutes of the episode of the new season.
Of Downton, first 2 minutes. And I'm like, I've never seen Downton Abbey. I'm like, what is he talking about? RuPaul's Drag Race has returned with 12 brand new queens in a very familiar format. This week, the queens saw a return of the photo shoot mini challenge along with a main stage challenge that celebrated the 100th episode by revisiting some of the favorite runway challenges from years past. Almost every queen worked really hard to be as annoying as possible, but in the end, Layla McQueen and Naysha Lopez won the challenge to place the bottom two. After a pretty standard lip sync battle, Layla was forced to stay another week, while Naysha won a free ticket back home to Puerto Rico. Ladies, any initial thoughts on the episode?
I don't know about you, Joe Betance, but I think Ornacia has grown since she was just a small headdress on top of the queen back in season 5 or 6 or whatever. Wasn't Ornacia the name of the fake head?
Yeah.
On what's her name? Anyway,
it was Ornacia.
Oh my god, I went so hard.
I didn't even think about that joke. That's a good joke. that was in here.
I think we need to workshop that next time before you ask.
Here's the thing. I like Naysha. I'm glad that I thought she did a great lip syncing job. I think her only real crime was that last outfit, and her picture was horrible. But the one thing I found fascinating about Naysha, she said the word quasi 3 times in that episode, and none of them were used correct. It was just kind of like, I'm gonna just pull out all of my quasi best moves, or was just like, really? I don't think you mean quasi there. It's like, are you doing a quasi leg split now? It's just like anyway.
Well, she's quasi simple, I think would be the easy way to look at that.
Well, actually, if she had a Motorola phone, she could be Quasimoto. Oh my god,
there it is.
So horrible.
My god. Anyway, Daniel, I'm shocked to hear you say this because now, actually, this is a perfect transition. Will you please play the file called Don't Listen?
There's a file here called Don't Listen. I am going to play it.
We all agree that Layla McQueen's probably going home first.
Yes.
Yes. I think it's Layla or Naysha.
Yeah,
Layla McQueen
I'm sorry. Naysha. Yeah, I don't think Layla. I think Naysha before Layla.
Wow.
Okay.
There you go.
That was up from episode 0.
That's very cool.
It is very cool. You know what else I said in that first episode? I believe I said I'm not going to like kimchi. I think I even may have it implied that she was going to be the Ginger Minge of season 8 for me. Mm-hmm. Completely turned it around.
Yeah, I agree.
I am now a kimchi fan because everything I was worried about kimchi at the beginning, she won me over with her jokes, and her makeup was flawless. Her outfit was great. I thought her attitude was great. I'm a kimchi fan now. And
the Clydesdale stomp that she did down the runway, that definitely is something that would win anybody over.
Well, she's in character for everything she creates.
Well, her character was Baby Huey because that's what she looked like coming down the runway.
I was reading the Reddit subreddit right before we went on the air about some of the queens host their own viewing parties in their hometowns. Ooh. And Kim Chi had a viewing party last night, and I guess some of the tea she spilled was that she was lying to the judges when she said it was intentional, that she just doesn't know how to walk, and that she's made fun of about it a lot, but she didn't want to make it seem like that was by accident. Well, like every previous season of RuPaul's Drag Race, one of the most exciting moments is to see the drag queens walk into the workroom for the very first time. This year, the honor of the first queen to walk in goes to Naomi Smalls, who did her best job to leave a big impression.
I am Naomi Smalls, and I am 21 years old. Check your lipstick before you come to me. Naomi is a tall glass of water. She has legs all the way up to her asshole. I got my drag name from Naomi Campbell and Biggie Smalls.
Right.
Okay, this is going to be this is actually not even the worst one, but did you guys feel like everybody, with the exception of a person who I think is going to win the whole thing, everybody had to come in with their dumb catchphrase?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, which we will talk about in the next one ad nauseum when it's my turn to talk about the next one, because we'll just get to that in a minute. But yeah, I don't understand why you come in and say, check your lipstick. She's walking into an empty room.
Right.
Who is she talking to?
Well, let's be fair. It's not an empty room. There's sound people there. There's camera people there. So,
okay, but she's not going to be lip syncing against the boom guy.
Perhaps she is. We don't know. Did you see how sad the stage managers looked on Untucked when they said goodbye to whatever her name was? I've already forgotten. It's not
Naisha.
No, Naisha stayed. It was the other one that went.
No,
Naisha left.
Naisha left. Oh. Layla McQueen was the one that stayed.
Wow. Then I was wrong. Then Layla is the one that said quasi, not Naisha. See, I'm so confused here.
They're very confusing.
Wait, so that do not listen means I was right?
Yeah, that's what it meant the whole time. I was saying like, oh, you changed your opinion.
I thought that you guys were right. Oh, wow, okay.
That'd be really.
See, I'm confused. This is such
right,
but that is such a problem, right? That is any reality shows, like those first few episodes where you're trying to mentally juggle 12 people that you literally have only seen clips of on, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think, 4 episodes down the road when we kind of know them better,
they all kind of blend together, except at this point, the Asian one.
Well, there's 3 Puerto Ricans and 3 New Yorkers this year. So that's half the cast right there.
There's not 3 Puerto Ricans anymore.
Well, that's true.
What's so funny, though, is I was actually putting it, because we nailed, not only did you nail who went home, but we nailed the bottom 2.
That's true. We did.
Yeah. So,
and they're not even bottoms, and we nailed them. No, I don't. Oh, that's such a joke.
I can't believe that joke's going to stay on the show. It's going to be a stain on the show forever.
Edit that one out.
Speaking of stain, next comes Cynthia Lee Fontaine. She's making her entrance.
How you doing, mis amores? Do you want to see my cuckoo? My name is Cynthia Lee Fontaine. How are you? I'm from Puerto Rico, but I live in Austin, Texas, y'all. Oh my God, the room is huge. Fantastic. So my cuckoo have a space. I need a space for this junk in the trunk.
Okay, Taylor.
Yeah. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her cuckoo. I hate that she's using the exact same jokes that she tried using, or it's saying that she used in the Meet the Queens video. Mm-hmm. I hate the weird accent. I hate the hair pulled way too tight. I hate the fake silicone butt. I hate everything about her.
I was going to ask
I want her to go home.
I was going to ask that. Both of you speak more Spanish than I do. I mean, but is cuckoo Spanish for like bad, like, butt line or something? Is like, because it looked like really bad pads until in Untuck we learned that she actually like uses like filler, but it gumps up occasionally. And I guess it was gumped up at coming in there. Because her ass looked really weird and like, you know what I'm saying? It looked like really badly cut foam inserts.
Yeah. Well, like most any language that several countries speak that language, they always have different words for dicks and asses. Mm-hmm. So I know like in Mexican Spanish, it's culo, but then you have like related words. They all sound sort of close. I wouldn't be surprised if cuckoo or something like that is in Puerto Rico. I don't know. I'm sure our Puerto Rican fans will let us know.
And I'm only Spanish by injection, so I have no idea.
That's true.
In his cuckoo.
In my cuckoo.
Yeah. Here's what I don't get is, I've never met a Puerto Rican who couldn't say Puerto Rico. She was like, Puerto Rico. She didn't say the T.
Well, and that's the whole thing of where, and I'm also from Austin, Texas, y'all. Like, she has to really work at it, which means she's stupid, which is why we hate her and she needs to leave the show.
I fear
Puerto Rico.
Right. I fear that she was a powerful enough narrative voice that she's probably going to be with us for a while. Like I know.
Oh, really? I think she had a Candy Ho story.
I know that Donna.
Yes.
All right, but
she is Candy Ho.
Yes,
she
but
is the Candy Ho of the season.
Candy Ho lasted for what, 3 or 4 episodes? Like long enough.
She lasted pretty long.
Yeah, long enough to. I mean, certainly longer than Tempest.
She did say she wanted to make it to Snatch Game. She has some sort of secret thing up her sleeve. What do you think it is? I bet you it's Sofia Vergara. You know what it is.
That or Meredith Vieira, just like old school. Just like I'm Meredith Vieira. Like, wouldn't it be great if they just weren't funny at all? It's just like I'm Meredith Vieira.
Yeah, well, if you see Snatch Game most years, about 8 of them are usually not funny at all.
Yeah, there's only usually 1 or 2 that actually make it to where you actually laugh at them.
Right. So no, I think she narratively, I think she'll be around for a little while. But I'm not a fan of hers. But then again, as we'll talk about later, I didn't really actually hate anyone this year. So
we should keep the cuckoo count. I will take that responsibility on of where I will for as long as she's on. How many times she says cuckoo? Now, are we doing that just for Drag Race or Drag Race and Untucked?
Drag Race and Untucked.
All right, I will go back and I will watch and I will count every time she says cuckoo.
We'll put it up on our website as quasi cuckoo count, and we'll just have it over in the right hand column there. We'll have the quasi cuckoo count for those of you who are interested at pride48.com/RDRR. We'll just slap it over there.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Up next, Dax exclamation point made her best attempt to leave a mark.
Oh, I see what you did there.
What's up, nerds? My name is Dax exclamation point, and I am the queen of all nerds.
It's Storm.
I'm a cosplayer. My look is very inspired by like science fiction and comics. Superheroes, strong bad bitches who don't take any crap from anybody else.
Daniel, go ahead, Taylor.
I love her. She's definitely in my top 3. There's something about her that I really like. It might be the nerd angle, the cosplay angle, but I enjoy watching her.
I liked her overall. I thought she was very. I kind of place her mid-pack because we didn't really hear a lot from her last night. Like, we heard a lot from certain queens, like Bob the Drag Queen and Thor G. Thor. I mean, we heard a lot of them last night. I feel like I know them a lot better than I know Dax. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Dax. I liked her, but I didn't think we got really to see a lot of her last night.
Coincidentally, she's, the drag mother to Violet Chachki, last year's winner.
Really?
And, yeah. And what I think is funny is she's sort of getting a similar. Remember, I think for the first couple episodes we didn't really see much of Violet Chachki. I think that they're laying low because they need to bring up the obvious front runners, and then there's also the people who are going to go soon, so they need to build up their storylines that were connected to them, and so Dax sort of gets lost in there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The only reason that we heard about how hard it is for a pageant queen last night, in great detail, was because she was going home. Right, that was our one chance to get to know this whining pageant queen, was to hear her whining about pageants.
Oh, what a great transition! Because up next, Naysha Lopez has something to say to people like you, Daniel, all her naysayers.
Hola. The beauty is here.
My name is Naysha Lopez. I think the most important element of my drag has to be appearance. It sounds so shallow, but my drag is flawless, it's gorgeous, it's stunning, it's gorgeous, it's everything. Did I say it was stunning and gorgeous? Did I say that already? Okay.
I feel like I'm jumping you even asking me, but I feel like I said this a decade ago when Survivor and Amazing Race and all that thing, like on one of my podcasts, I railed against the fact it's like, if you're going to show up on Survivor, you need to know how to make a fucking fire. You should have, the day that you got your casting call from Survivor, gone out into your backyard with nothing but sticks and some twigs, and learned how to make a fire in rain and snow and wind and what. You should that should be your only prep for Survivor, right? Is getting fattened up and going outside and making fire. If you're going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race season 8, you have to know how to make a fucking outfit, right? It's like using a sewing machine is not that hard. Clearly, we found out later that they're allowed to use patterns. So it's not like they have to like make like on Project Runway where they're not allowed to use patterns and stuff. They can bring pattern books with them and stuff like that. It's like, it was just so annoying that she I've never sewed a dress before. It's like, yeah, it's.
I almost wonder if that was said, that little scene that they had at Judges Panel. And I know that we're jumping to the end of the episode when we're just kind of talking about the initial visit, but dovetailing on what he's saying, I almost wonder if that was said similar to the only reason you should pull off a wig is if you have another wig on underneath. Right, yeah. Like they've heard this so many times before on panel. So this was kind of a polite way of telling people for season 9 and beyond, fucking know how to make a dress before you come on the show, because we'll send you home.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise anymore. There's going to be a sewing challenge.
Yeah. I think in the more in-depth confessional on Untouched, she says that she tried 4 times to get on the show. So you've been 4 years you've seen that. I mean, they didn't do it last year.
Right. You clearly haven't been working on your drag, so you might as well learn how to sew.
Yeah, every year. I mean, she had 4 years to learn how to sew. And that's where I felt badly. And we'll talk about this at the end, but she mentioned that she'd spent so much money on dresses to go here. So she had all those dresses she bought, and oh well.
We spent too much time on her. She's gone. Let's go.
But wait a minute. I want to say something else. But she did the thing that I said she was going to do in the Meet the Queens. What's the first thing out of her mouth other than hola when she walked in? The beauty.
Yes.
Like that's her.
Yeah, that's her thing.
It's always time for a cocktail.
Yeah.
She was going to work that in as much as she could over the course of the season.
Right.
But I feel every queen except for Bob the Drag Queen has there's always time for a cocktail. And Kimchi doesn't really have it, does she?
I don't think so.
Like,
I'm going to have here to destroy you or something.
Yeah, they all their dumb shit. Anyway, get ready for a burn. Acid Betty is up next in the workroom.
No need to adjust your TV sets. This acid trip is all real.
Watch out, bitches. Here's Acid Betty from Brooklyn, New York. My drag style is completely over the top. Basically, a drug trip without the drugs. I kind of want to run around. The main bullet point of Acid Betty is she's a bitch. That's it. Even Bianca won't fuck with her. That's the tea.
Well, go ahead, Taylor.
I loved her hair. I was curious how she actually kept that on the top of her head. I'm calling this now. At some point, she will win a maxi challenge, and RuPaul will say, "It's time for acid rain." That will be the pun that they use when congratulations, you are the winner of this week's challenge.
Okay, Taylor calling
putting it on the board.
He's like Babe Ruth when he pointed to where he was going to hit the home run, right?
Yep.
Oh, I actually have the bizarro version of Daniel's love for kimchi. I was a big Acid Betty fan from Meet the Queens, and I felt she was really awful. Like well, maybe who knows what the real deal is, but they're clearly editing her to be the villain.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I liked her a lot better on Meet the Queens than I did on this episode, and I don't hate her, but I don't love her. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, she's being unnecessarily mean, because what's funny is sometimes the mean ones usually are mean because they have something to hide, but she's actually really strong. There's no reason for her to be a total cunt. So I don't get it. Taylor, what were your thoughts on Acid Betty just as a
I didn't really like her compared. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't really like her compared to what I saw in Meet the Queens as well. However, I do not think that she is going to be the villain. We're going to be talking about the villain soon.
Ooh, coming up.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Ooh.
And much like the reversal thing, somebody that I liked and the two of you didn't, I hated, and I'm curious what the two of you think as well.
Cool.
Here we go. Well, I think he's talking about this because it's a blast from the past when Robbie Turner enters the workroom.
Oh, I forgot to pull a clip for him. Oh, see what I did there?
Good morning. I didn't realize this was happening today. My name is Robbie Turner, and I'm the kindest queen you'll ever meet. I'm trying to give old classic Hollywood Rita Hayworth hair, Jean Harlow robe, gorgeous.
Is this who you were talking about, Taylor?
Yes. First of all, she looked like a busted Jean Harlow walking in with that nose and that fucked up grill. That right there was that was distracting.
Oh,
wow. And I think actually she's not trying to be the villain as much as she reminded me of Laganja, in that Laganja was just that weird, annoying presence that you couldn't get rid of through most of the season.
What are you talking about, Mama?
Okay. I can't do that weird thing with the top of my mouth. So I'm not even going to try.
Oh, poor your boyfriend. I feel sorry for your boyfriend.
I will stick up for Aria as someone who has teeth that, were stained by tetracycline or whatever. And it's like, I'm very self-conscious about my teeth. I will stick up for her teeth. Right? Not everyone can afford to have perfect dental work or whatever. But, I would question whether Jean Harlow would actually wear, like, panties and like that in public. But, okay. I liked her a lot in Meet the Queens, and I was nonplussed with her last night. I was, my thing, right? I'm almost a sapiosexual, right? I really like intelligent people, and she did not come across as very intelligent.
Yeah. For somebody that, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, Taylor, please go.
For somebody that one of the things that I liked about her was that she is young, and she I remember her being slightly younger, but younger in that, well, all right, let me rephrase that. Younger in that she was commenting, or she was talking about pop culture references from the 60s and 70s, and that's where she kind of got her look and all that. That was kind of where she wanted to go with that.
Oh, I remember
form
this.
Of comedy.
Yeah, because you were talking about like Max was very 20s and 30s, and at least
right. And then she was trying to be very 60s and 70s. Yeah. She just came off as just weird Twinkie bitch in a sailor hat, and that to me is non-appealing.
There you go. But she does know how to put a bath mat around her midsection. Right.
Well, we'll get to that outfit. But, in terms of the personality, she wasn't as grating to me as Acid Betty was. Or Thorgy. Well, we'll get to Thorgy, too.
I thought she was more so than Acid Betty. Acid Betty was more in the background annoying, whereas Robbie was up front and center, where she's trying to be, I'm going to be the sassy bitch sort of thing. And that, I wasn't all about that.
Next in the workroom is Kim Chi, who proves herself to be one hot pot.
I came to top 3 of the competition. My name is Kim Chi, and I came here to destroy everyone with my makeup. I'm known for crazy over-the-top pure anime fantasy. Oh my God. I may come across shy because I'm soft-spoken, but do not come for me because I'll destroy you. Get it? Do not come.
Now I held up a donut.
Yeah, I listened to, obviously, as for those of you who didn't listen last season, I typically watch the show at a bar with other people around, and that the donut comment did get a fair amount of laughter and groan for that. So she did.
I didn't get it.
What?
I didn't get the joke.
Donut come for me.
Do you still?
Do not. Okay. Well, now I get it. Okay. Well, her tongue is 3 times bigger than her fucking mouth, so I can't understand half of what she says anyway.
But Taylor, she held a donut.
I know, and that's why I kind of made a face like, huh? And then I was just like, I don't care enough to just move on. Next one, sort of thing. So.
In fairness, we are podcasters. We are distracted by donuts.
That is true. Except it was a gross, weird green donut. It was ugly.
It was like a kryptonite donut or something like that. I think I told you before, I did not like Kim Chi in the Meet the Queens. I was very worried about her, being annoying and, kind of. Anyway, the point is that she completely turned me on. I loved her, and I'm a Kim Chi fan. I will say this though: at one point they asked her like how long she's been. She said she's only been doing drag for like 2.5 years. I remember seeing her before that, so I don't know that that's. You know what I'm saying? Like she's been on Feast of Fun for I think longer than 2.5 years. Like and
also to be fair, 10 of them say they're 29. So I don't think. Plus, we're all dealing with a show about the illusion of reality, so. I don't think they all know what they're talking about.
A little behind the scenes here. During Kim Chi's viewing party, she said that the reason the donut was there, someone had brought in donuts for Derek's birthday, and there was a green tea donut that she really wanted, and it was only one, and so she pulled it aside for her after the interview. So she had it sitting right there because she wanted a green tea donut. That's why it was green.
Wow!
And there you go.
There you go. That explains why it looked like Elphaba's butthole. That's so
right. Kim Chi, just call us. We'll be happy to play your side of the story.
All right, here we go. I don't even know either.
We never know what you mean either.
I don't.
Thorgy Thor struts in the workroom next to make sure you don't forget her.
Thorgy with a TH and orgy, and I feel incredible.
My name is Thorgy, and I'm 29 years old. I'm 29 years old. Where did that come from? I'm colorful, I'm fun, and I'm the fashion clown. Woo! O-M baby Jesus. My drag style is kind of incredibly eclectic. I can be campy, but also I can be like fucking fierce.
First of all, the reason where did that come from? It's because what she tells everybody and how old she is.
Right. Well, and then she changed it to 31. Oh, they changed it to 31 on the screen, which I'm still not buying that either. So
rough looking 31.
Right. Thorgy Thor, I like her overall. I she was a very powerful narrative voice during the episode last night, so it kind of leads me to believe that we're going to, she's going to be around
for a while.
For a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think I liked her. You know, everyone has their own little annoyances first. But like I said, it is so hard when you have 12 people, then you only get little clips of people. So I'm willing to wait on Thorgy to hope that she's, you know, going to be one of my favorites.
Well, there have also been drag queens who this early on. Well, actually, you know, let me get back to this when we cover the next person here. Next, Bob the drag queen serves up the best shot so far of anyone of changing his name to Bob
Taylor
the
didn't
winner.
Taylor didn't say anything about Thorgy. I think he was going to say something about Thorgy.
Is there another person on the show?
Aw, bitch.
Taylor, what were your thoughts on Thorgy Thor?
Taylor, did he come for you?
Did you come for me? Did you just come for me?
I came for you.
You came for me. Aw. Never mind.
Go ahead.
Insert joke there. Okay. I like her. I liked her from the Meet the Queens video. And the thing that I remember most about her, other than she's kind of weird looking, but she makes that work for her, is she said, I want this to be fun. How often do you get to be on a show like this? And that's my goal and she looked like throughout the entire process, she was having fun. And that's fun to watch.
True. It is.
Just like you like watching people have complete breakdowns, like we're going to apparently see over the next couple of episodes with certain other Britney Spears looking drag queens. With her, it's fun to watch her enjoy the process, at least at this point.
I agree. Now you may continue, Joe.
I have to make this sound fresh now. Next, Bob the drag queen serves up the best chance for anyone to.
Yeah, see, it's not even how it's written.
The joke was that she should change her name to Bob the winner.
No, but read it how you wrote it, though. I mean, that's fine. Just go ahead and read it how you wrote it. I'll edit all. Don't worry, Joe. I'll edit all this out. It'll sound great.
Bob the drag queen is up next, serving up the best shot so far. That doesn't make any sense what I wrote. Bob the winner. Just play the clip.
My name is Bob the drag queen, and I am 29 years old. My drag is funny. It's irreverent. What you see is what you get. My brother who says it all. You're welcome. I'm hilarious, beautiful, talented, and humble. How are you? Now just one more.
Who's going first? I don't know. Go, Taylor.
I didn't get the jumpsuit. I didn't get with the UNT. I assumed it was some play on cunt, but I wasn't sure. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know that I got that one either. Again, I was listening in a loud bar, so I didn't hear like every single word. I like it. Go ahead, Taylor. What's your thoughts on Bob the drag queen, though?
I love Bob the drag queen. Bob the drag queen is my. I think that she's going to win. I would be at the very least, she's going to be top 3, but I think she's going to win. And there's something very
Bob.
There's something very Bob. There's something very I don't give a fuck. I'm here. Just crown me. That's kind of it. But not in a obnoxious, putting other people down sort of way.
Right. Yeah, I think she's very witty and funny in a Bianca Del Rio, not a Ginger Minge kind of a way, right? It's like, I think there's a lot of intelligence behind her wit. And
absolutely. Very smart, very smart. And the thing is about, and I don't know if I've talked about this when I guessed it on last season for you guys or not, but I didn't like Bianca the first 4 or 5 episodes. I really didn't like her. There was something about her that just stuck in my craw. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until she said to Adore, I'll kill you if you tell anybody this, but if you want to borrow if you need help with the waist, I'll help you with that. And then it showed that she was human instead of this just where we're going to roll our eyes at everything everybody else says.
Right.
I could see Bob even further going in that direction of where she's going to start helping people and she's going to start, but still also being fierce.
Yeah, I think they're trying to set up some kind of maybe rivalry between Bob and who was it that didn't like him talking?
Betty.
Acid Betty. Yeah, they're both New York queens. Kind of thing. I really liked Bob. I'm a fan of Bob, and that's all I got to say. Hi, Bob. You know what? Bob might listen because Bob listens to RuPaul's podcast, and so then he at least knows what a podcast is. So hi, Bob. If you're listening, hi, Bob. We love you.
Bob.
We should buy an ad on RuPaul's podcast.
We should just buy an ad and just talk about how great Bob is.
Yeah. Anyway, Bob the drag queen. I like Bob the drag queen. I'm very close to what Taylor was saying. Everybody though, that's why it wasn't too bad. Everybody was a little much this first episode. He was a little too strong, a little too on, right? But but Bianca, I didn't like Bianca the first couple episodes too. But then when she pulled back, then you can already see. There's no doubt in my mind. I would be floored. It would be one of those episodes we have to record as soon as possible if she goes before top 3. If she's not in the top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely believe that she's in the top 3. It's like if I had to, if you held me to it, which we'll probably talk about later, so I'll just talk about it then. So go ahead, move on.
Okay.
Also, she's really good friends with Bianca Del Rio. They do shows together. So if anything, she just knows. You can tell she knows how the show works. It's like, just hand me the crown already, which actually could lead to her demise. Actually, Layla McQueen, you got me on my knees, Layla. Begging, darling, leave.
All right, ladies, let's turn up the juice and see what shakes loose.
This is trouble.
Don't say Beetlejuice 3 times.
I'm Layla McQueen, and I'm 22 years old. Layla is like a hoary, quasi rock star. I don't want to say gothy, but like gothy.
To hear that? Hear that? Quasi.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first time she used it wrong. Go ahead.
I have a story that it doesn't necessarily involve Daniel, but Daniel will know the point of reference, whereas you won't. Years ago at Trax.
Trax was a bar in Ybor City in Tampa, Florida, yes.
Yes. I was with a couple of friends of mine, and Felicity Lane came out in an outfit similar to what she had on, the black and white stripes, and my friend screamed Beetlejuice at her 3 times. It's one of my favorite moments of the 90s, was that, because of course I hated Felicity Lane. I was not a big Felicity Lane fan.
And then Felicity threw that dress away. Layla found it and
wore it 20 years later.
Wore it 20 years later. End of story. Yeah, no, Felicity Lane, a notorious drag queen in Tampa, Florida. So.
Okay, can I make another statement first before anybody else might?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Layla McQueen is to Taylor out of drag what Trixie Mattel was to Daniel last year.
So you agree?
Is so my type, with the short, stocky kind of, because when she's got the weird double chin in drag, that's not attractive. But when you're a boy and you enjoy, like, Whataburger just a little bit too much, right, and you're still trying to do drag, there's something kind of hot about that.
So you and Chi-Chi and Thorgy Thor are all of the same mindset there. You're going to have to wrestle through Thorgy Thor and Chi-Chi for that, because weren't they?
Yeah, there was a lot. I was going to say that I was like, there's a lot of, because even on Reddit, there's a lot of love for Layla McQueen, which I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't. Well, okay, I don't get it, except that I definitely enjoyed her lip sync. But of course, compared to what she was up against, there was no chance she wasn't going to win. But just out of drag, there's something about her that I was like, well, hello. Yeah, soccer mom class.
No, we'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
I didn't even think her butt was that great. And they were talking about it. Am I wrong?
No, her butt was. Her butt was kind of weird, but yeah.
We have a clip for that.
Fair,
all right.
Fair. I mean, whatever. I'm a bottom. I don't know. I don't look at other guys' butts.
Chi-Chi DeVane walked in with country drag, and my guess she will soon change her name to Sachet DeVane.
Les le bon temps roulé.
What'd she say?
My name is Chi-Chi DeVane, and I don't get ready. I stay ready.
Hi.
My drag is that real Southern dragged out style of drag. Creole.
Oh, that was a hard clip there.
Yeah.
By the way, I made a reference about not pulling a clip earlier. I just want to point out, Joe does all the work. Joe actually pulls all the clips. I don't actually do any of the clips.
Oh my God, it was the early episodes, especially this one, it took me, guys, I worked on this episode.
Yes.
I started at 8 and I finished at 2.
Wow.
Oh.
Like a full-time
job. Because pulling the clips took hours, because
it was also a 90-minute episode and the first episode.
And there was a bunch of little clips, which is, it's just as much work as a long clip, really.
All right, I'm going to go on record right now. I like Chi-Chi. I'm a Chi-Chi fan.
Wow, that's the first gay guy to say that on this show.
No, not Cuckoo, but Chi-Chi. No, I like. There's something about Chi-Chi that I just, she's not as polished as the rest. She's someone else later in Untucked pointed out her garbage bag dress was amazing, though. She did a great job on that. It's
a lot of detail on the top.
Yeah,
someone in Reddit though said you had to see it on HD to really notice how good it was.
Yeah, I am pulling for Chi. I like Chi-Chi. I hope she stays around for a while. I don't really want her to flat iron her hair anymore, but I like her.
Yeah, she's a good personality.
Chi-Chi is like the Trinity Bonet, was that her name?
Trinity K. Bonet,
or the Monica Beverly Hills, where we're kind of this sort of beat up, and we don't have a lot of money, but we're trying really hard, and everybody at first there's ones that are going to make fun of her, and then she's going to be kind of where she's going to have somebody like Bob or something kind of doing the whole.
Oh my God, she's the Jaden Dior Fierce of season.
No. Yeah, see, I think she's the Stacey Lane Matthews. Wasn't Stacey Lane Matthews real country too?
Yeah.
No, I was just talking about how Jaden, made her own clothes and stuff, and didn't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
she didn't have thousands of dollars in gowns and stuff.
So long she's not the Nicole Paige Brooks.
Oh, yeah, and PB.
She could be the Anthony Michael Hall. Oh, wait, were we just not doing 3 named celebrities? Was that what we were doing?
She's the Sarah Michelle Gellar.
A lot of drag queens have the 3 names. Finally, Derek Barry walked in the room.
Farrah Fawcett Majors, that would be one. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
It's Derek, bitch. My name is Derek Barry. I'm 32 years old. I may look angelic, but I am not that innocent. I'm a Britney Spears impersonator. I impersonate her 6 nights a week on the Las Vegas Strip. I would love to believe that I'm the best Britney in the world. That's what people say. Derek!
Other than, Britney.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many Britney impersonators are there really?
I think this is the, I don't even know who to... There was some weird after effect of that clip on my sound card. I don't know who to compare her to. Whatever it is, like she seems very delicate. Like she does her job well, right? Her in Vegas, and she clearly does a really good job of doing Britney. So I don't know what that noise is. Oh,
I'm sorry, everyone.
I'm sorry. I'm getting that. It's coming through the Hangouts. Anyway, now I've completely lost my thought. But my point is that I'm concerned. I don't think she's going to be around for very long. That's what I'm trying to say.
She does seem very fragile. And
very fragile. Yeah. Someone came after her. Not even came after her, but just made a statement in Untucked that she just, she completely just got very defensive.
They're planting the seeds of that storyline. They're definitely planting the seeds of that storyline of where she is very much, if anybody says anything even remotely critical, constructive or otherwise, she's going to implode because it just means that she's not everything that she thinks she is in her head.
Okay.
I think one of the things, too, we've taken into consideration is that she started with doing Britney, and that's all she's done. I'm sure she very quickly, because she's pretty young, she's been doing Britney for a while, just quickly got this. It just went really, really, really fast and became in this Vegas, and she's pampered there, and just doesn't know how to do anything else. I think that's going to be the problem. I think she's good at doing this one thing.
I think, Michelle said, I challenge you to show us everything but Britney. And Derek had a really good point at the end. It's like, he looks like Britney in makeup. So it doesn't matter really what he does. He's always going to kind of look like Britney because he himself kind of looks like Britney in the face, right? I mean, it's like...
But Chad made himself look like Cher, and he pulled it off.
True,
yeah.
True. But then, as they also pointed out, it's like Chad didn't come in as Cher. Chad never did Cher until Snatch Game, right?
Which I think was a smart move.
Right.
Yeah.
In this case, Derek Barry immediately came in as Britney, whatever.
Kind of blew his load right there.
He did. He shot his wad all over the TV. So.
Wow. Wow.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
Sure.
For Daniel.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Okay. No, well, I mean, I could ask Joe. I could ask you this too. But I figured with the Meet the Queens. With the Meet the Queens, Derek looked like he was going to this was the first time that we saw all of them out of drag.
Yes.
So my thought was that Derek was going to be the cutest one out of all of them, and the one that Daniel would like the most. And I'm curious if I am correct in that, because I was a little surprised at just what Derek looked like out of drag. I'm always surprised what Daniel looks like out of drag as well, but right. Derek in particular.
You know what? I'm going to save this because I see that we have a clip for the de-dragging process coming up. And is that correct, Joe, that we should talk about?
We do have a clip for the de-dragging.
Okay. There is an answer to that. And by the way, I'll just tease that. No, that you were wrong. He was not the one I found to be the cutest. So
okay.
He was cute, though. I'll give him that. He's a very attractive man.
Oh, I have one that I think is the cutest, and we'll see if we'll compare notes later.
By the way, just as a technical note, we're having a problem on one of our channels, so if you hear some intermittent stat, and don't worry about it, we'll get it all under control by next time. So it's not you, it's us. It's fine. Go ahead.
The ghost of Donna Sugars.
That's what it is. It's the ghost of Donna Sugars.
With all the queens in place in the workroom, RuPaul made her first appearance on video screen, I missed an article there, sorry, making references to several of the show's most famous catchphrases. After the video package was over, RuPaul made his first entrance into the workroom where Ru informed Derek Barry that he was the 100th contestant on the show. After Derek's self-congratulation confessional played, Ru immediately started the competition. Officially.
Now, are you ready to make herstory? Yeah! Well, guess what? You already have.
This is the 100th episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Is that crazy? Now, an occasion such as this demands to be acknowledged on an epic scale. So, I've arranged a photo shoot with some extra special guest stars. I hope you're ready for your close-up, because if you get upstaged, this 100th episode could be your last.
The stakes are high. Nobody wants to be the first drag queen voted off the island. Oh, snuff out your candle. No.
Now, let's go.
Ooh. Nice Mommy Dearest reference. After the break, we see Naysha Lopez walk into a photo studio only to be surprised by all 8 previous winners of RuPaul's Drag Race, dressed to the nines and ready for a photo shoot. RuPaul explains the challenge to Naysha Lopez.
Now, for your first photo challenge, we are going to take some photographs with the great Matthew Anderson. We're going to find out if you have what it takes to stand amongst greatness.
Got it. Going to the challenge, we're looking for that spark of individuality. And we want to see who knows how to get their cream to rise to the top.
Now, I noticed you chose to just gloss over the fact that Bianca Del Rio was not there. It was, in fact, a circus clown.
We can come to that.
Okay, great.
We can come to that.
Okay.
One by one, the contestants enter the workroom and get their shot at taking a photo with the previous winners of RuPaul's Drag Race. Most of it goes pretty smoothly, except for Acid Betty, who chooses to throw shade in her confessional, while Violet Chotsky provides her own critique of Naomi Smalls.
Naomi Smalls looks really cunty. She has a great ass, great legs, but she does have cliffhangers. You see her toes, like, literally clinging onto the shoe. Boner killer.
So, Daniel, what did you think of Bianca Del Rio unable to make it to the shoot?
I don't know why. Maybe she was on tour or something.
I know exactly
like that.
why.
Oh, why?
Well, it was last summer when she was filming her movie.
Oh, okay.
Hurricane Bianca.
Yeah. I thought it was funny, though. I thought it was very funny. It was like, obviously, they did very little with them, right? They just had them there for a day. They didn't really talk that much or anything. I don't think
it shows you how Photoshop fools me, because remember Ru took a picture with them, the same, and then they just Photoshopped Bianca in there. I never noticed. It flew right by me.
I had noticed in that picture she seemed to be standing awkwardly and way over to the side, which I thought was odd. And now it makes sense if she wasn't in there.
Right? They had to cover up that circus clown. So.
What did you think of the photo shoot contest? What did you think of, was there anything of note that you noticed? I saw that Acid Betty was really shady towards the queen. She was like, they have me with these terrible, none of them are good drag queens.
Yeah, and I wonder, was that her way of being funny, though, or I don't know.
Well, you never know how they cut it. And then remember, Robbie Turner had a thing with Sharon Needles, which, again, at Robbie's viewing party, he didn't get into detail, but I guess he has a herstory with Sharon Needles. Oh. They don't get along.
Oh.
Well, he was like he and Jinx know each other, right? Robbie and Jinx.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
because they came in pretty much looking exactly the same.
Right. So, no, I think it was, I liked the photo shoot. I liked Derek, what he did, going and grabbing a chair and then putting it out in front of everyone like that. And that's how you do it, right? That's how you become the central figure of a poster. You're the one closest to the camera. And it's like, I thought that was very smart of him to do that no one else thought to do it. Like Kimchi running into the back, basically you're putting yourself in the background then, now you're photobombing, right? It's like, there's Kimchi photobombing, Derek going out. And I keep wanting to say Derek Smalls because I just saw Spinal Tap the other day. So I apologize.
Are you okay, Daniel? Are you drunk or high?
No, I'm just saying I almost said Derek Smalls, which is the bass player from Spinal Tap, instead of Derek Barry.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that I like that photo the best.
Dax exclamation point would love that joke.
I'm sure she would.
I loved the idea of the challenge. I loved when they released the picture of all of the queens a couple of weeks ago, all of the winners. Mm-hmm. I just thought that was a very cool idea, and that I liked how they incorporated it into the challenge. I thought Thorgy or whatever the fuck her name is, hers of her jumping up was a very good one. I thought Derek Barry's was very good. They're the only two that I kind of remember, and Kimchi, but that's because she looked like a purple whatever in the background. The rest of them I kind of don't remember.
Right, like a Pokemon, like a purple Pokemon.
Yeah, I like Bob's serious one, like the old timey photo.
It did, and it looked like Bob had everyone laughing with him. We didn't hear all the jokes, but yeah, it looks like he definitely had the crowd laughing with him there. So
yeah. Back in the workroom after the challenge, the contestants get out of drag and get their first peek at what the queens look like when they're no longer in drag. One in particular seems to have caught everyone, including Taylor the Latte Boy's eye.
The de-dragging process is the most exciting for me because I want to see what everybody looks like as a boy, and fuck, everybody is so cute.
Layla out of drag, I want to sleep with. I like little shorties, like little kind of husky shorties.
Woo! Oh my God, that fucking Layla, the ass is amazing. I can't help it, I'm such a top.
Embarrassing one-liner aside, I actually thought that Chi-Chi was the hottest boy. So.
What?
Derek Barry's a little too small, a little too short for me, but yeah, no, I liked Chi-Chi as a
Chi-Chi
boy.
Devane,
Yeah.
Corbin Bleu from High School Musical.
Good, yes.
That's who he look like to me.
Chi-Chi Devane does?
Chi-Chi Devane. That's the one with the black guy with the blonde hair, right?
Yeah.
He looks like we're all in this together, kind of from the movies.
I've never seen High School Musical.
Well, neither have I, but I've seen the clips of them.
I'm a 40-year-old man. But
I've never seen them either.
You knew a person named Corbin Bleu.
I knew that because he was on One Life to Live. Oh wait, that doesn't help my argument either.
It doesn't really help your argument there. Anyway, no, that's who I thought. Who did you think? I mean, were you going to go with Naisha? Is that your favorite?
No.
No.
Naomi Smalls.
Naomi Smalls.
Really?
Yes. I thought Naomi Smalls was so cute as a boy.
He is cute as a boy, but it's.
Look, there's some sort of magic age with 22 with me. I don't know what the fuck it is. My boyfriend's 22. Naomi Smalls is 22. I don't know.
There you go.
I have a thing for 22-year-olds.
He's too thin.
Yeah, I didn't think there was. Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think that there was really anyone who was ugly, though. I thought they were all very attractive as men.
Yeah. You know what it is? There's no one's ugly and no one's hot.
Well, that's not
There's
true.
There's no Pearl. There's no Pearl.
That's not true. Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi's very hot.
Pearl, man.
No. Oh, God.
Pearl is up there, man. Pearl was beautiful.
Chi-Chi is amazingly hot. We're just
I'm gonna have to look at the episode again. I don't remember. She didn't. I'm not saying she was ugly. She didn't strike me as special. Let me just say that. She didn't strike me as ugly. I was just. She doesn't strike Naomi. That I was like, oh, Naomi's so cute.
Kimchi talks like she's special.
It's true. Do not come for her. Right.
She's funny though. She's funny.
There you go.
So is it just me, or does Kimchi look like Glenn from Walking Dead sometimes too?
I don't watch Walking Dead, so I don't know.
Well, it's. And I'm sure
Taylor's full of the references today.
He is.
I know. That's I can't help it.
Look, The Walking Dead is a very big show. You get a pass on that.
Is it just me, or is Naomi Smalls look like the woman that did the voice for Gladys in Portal 2? It's just.
Okay. There are enough people out there that watch Walking Dead. Fuck you. Never mind. Forget it.
Is it me, or does Thorgy Thor remind you of Valerie Harper as Rhoda?
Oh, it does. It does. Totally does.
Thorgy Thor looks like somebody. I can't figure out who it is, but she does look like somebody.
Actually, I can tell you who. If I was thinking about this today, is like she really, honestly looks like original cast Saturday Night Live Rita.
Gilda Radner. Gilda Radner. That's it.
Yes,
that is it. Gilda Radner.
Yes, Thorgy Thor looks very much like.
Now we know her. We know
Radner
Rosanna Dan is her Snatch Game character.
There you go.
That's okay. All right. Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome.
If Rosanna Dana is her Snatch Game character, we have won the show because we were already. Didn't Taylor make another prediction too? But Acid Rain, that's gonna be
Honestly, Rosanna Dana, I think is just too arcane. Because no one.
Well, what do you mean? Pearl did that. Big Ange,
which young people would know who it was. It's like,
that's true.
Move forward.
That's true. All right. After the break, the contestants are on the main stage where RuPaul delivers the very first runway challenge.
For this week's Maxi Challenge, each of you will be assigned a legendary design challenge from a past season. It's your job to take the materials and make them your own. To assign the looks, I'll choose one of your names at random.
No, that was okay.
Yeah. At this point, former contestant Morgan McMichaels comes out and pops a ping pong ball out of her. Was it her ass or her vagina? I don't even know. What was it?
It was supposed to be out of her ass, but it was probably a rubber band or something. I mean, it was staged.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, there was somebody off stage. That's sad. Like you go to film school and then your grandma's like, "Oh, and what are you working on? Well, what'd you do today?"
I made it
worked
look
on
like
a drag queen reality show and shot a ping pong ball that came out of her ass. Oh, I'm glad you're $200,000 in film school debt. All right, great.
Right.
Next, that has a random contestant's name on it. That contestant happened to be Robbie Turner.
Correct.
Next, Ru had several former contestants march out on the runway and demonstrate the looks from some of the previous challenges. Robbie's job was to assign the looks of the different contestants, but in doing so, forgot to choose a challenge for himself. The contestants and their looks were as follows. Naysha Lopez. Do you guys even remember? I have it right here.
Yeah. Naysha Lopez did Drag on a Dime.
Naomi Smalls did Float Your Boat.
Oh, wow. You guys have a good memory.
Acid Betty did...
can you give me Acid Betty?
Make That Money.
I think Cynthia Lee Fontaine did the Sugar Ball.
Was he?
Wow.
Oh, that's right, because Chi-Chi did the Glitter Ball.
And Layla McQueen did RuPaul Now.
Right, yeah. And then Thorgy Thora did the Face of Cakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe Kim G did RuPaul's Hair Extravaganza.
Mm-hmm. Dax did the Hello Kitty Girl.
And I think Bob the Drag Queen did Gone with the Window.
That was it was. And then Derek Barry did I believe it was Britney Spears' Christmas album.
and Robbie Turner did a horrible job.
He really did.
Although, fun fact, that is the same dog from season 4. The poodle.
Is it really?
Yes.
I wondered that when they brought. I'm like, I wonder if that's the same dog that Sharon had.
Yes, I was on the WoW YouTube channel today. That I found that in one of John's recap shows. Yeah, so that is the same bitch.
So what did you guys think of the challenges and the people who got them before we even get into how they did the way it was done? Any thoughts on this segment?
The one thought that I had was it was supposed to be by random, but they only shot one ping pong ball at RuPaul.
Yeah.
So was it? Do you think that was predetermined that she was going to be
honestly,
the one?
I don't think anything was written on the ball. I think that they probably drew the name already out of a bag somewhere, and then that was just staging with. I mean, because you know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't see the writing on the ball. It was just
once again coming from Robbie Turner's viewing party. He hinted very heavily that it wasn't as random as people thought, and that he was sort of assigned who would get what.
Oh, okay.
Was he assigned?
And that he didn't forget that that was just sort of told to him.
Oh,
but again, he hinted this.
Wow. So maybe. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
but there was. I don't remember a lot of these challenges, but I thought they all did good in their own way.
And it was fun seeing the old seasons drag queens come back. I hope that's with them making a big deal about this being the 100th episode, and I know that there's always talk that it's going to go away or go to YouTube or something like that. I would like to see that incorporated more through the season of where they bring back previous contestants and that kind of stuff for things.
They are definitely marketing this tour really hard. So, I mean, they're definitely cashing in for everything it's worth.
Back in the workroom, Robbie bitches about his material. Chi-Chi comes out as country. Naomi's float hides her best assets. Bob is excited to have fabric, and Naomi reads Derek for his inability to be anyone else but Britney Spears.
Derek Barry is not creative, obviously, because he's impersonating someone else his whole life. He will definitely have the hardest time with this challenge.
And I'm stuck on what to do for the top.
Aren't we all, girl? Aren't we all?
I feel we covered a lot of this already, but Derek Barry, I mean, that queen's going to have some problems.
Well, and especially when you get the whole thing, and I know I'm jumping ahead, but we talked about it before where Michelle said, you've done the Britney, we know you can do Britney, do something else. And then RuPaul immediately says, oh no, I want to see more Britney.
Right.
That's definitely sending that weird mixed message like Tyra Banks used to do on Top Model, which you say, you need to smile more. And then the next week when they would smile more, she goes, you just have to stop smiling.
Right.
That's kind of that where they're almost setting him up to be mind fucked.
Right. And the same thing, I mean, Santino was the worst at this, right? Santino would give always the exact opposite advice from some. And then as soon as they followed his advice, he would hate it. So it was very like, what the fuck? How are you supposed to listen to what they say?
See, I don't know. I see Derek Barry as a terrible person, and I want to see, not terrible person, like, I don't mean terrible person, like evil, but like, she's already going after people, but I don't even think she's doing it as like Acid Betty, I think, is doing it as not a strategy, but it's something she's doing intentionally. Whereas I think Derek Barry's just a complete narcissist.
She's panicked. Really? There's panic in her voice when she's doing this. Yeah. Where I think she's realizing that I thought I could just come in here looking like Britney Spears and everybody would ooh and ah all over me, and suddenly, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do more. And I think that there's when she does that, that's a classic move what they were talking about in Untucked, where immediately people will start to give her criticism or they'll say something and she jumps all over them. And I think it was Bob said, I could say, I don't like your dress, but she hears it as, I don't like you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that read too. But I think a lot of it also is, I think she's just really competitive. It's like, she's unlike the rest of them. She's not a queen that does club, the whole club scene. She is on stage and a show in Vegas, right? She's not the headliner, I don't believe. I think she's in that show that with a bunch of the impersonators. But for the most part,
divas, you're right.
Yeah, I think she's surrounded. Yeah, Frank Marino's divas or whatever. Yeah, I think she's surrounded by that whole bubble, right? That whole bubble where it's like you're on stage, you're performing, right? You're on Grindr at night. There's tourists that are going like, "Oh my God, you're so great, you're so great." It's like, oh dear God, someone's calling. Someone's
Derek
calling
Barry
on the phone.
is pissed that we're talking about her, and she is calling to read us to filth.
That's Derek Barry's lawyer calling right now.
Yeah.
No, I just think that she's really competitive. I think this is her career, right? I mean, it's like she's got to fight for that, to be in that show, right? She's not the only Britney Spears impersonator to go to Vegas to want to be in that show, right? So I think she's just really competitive. I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah. I actually think that she's just led a very charmed drag life.
Oh, I agree with that.
She's coming from a place where she's probably very pampered. She's one of the stars of the show and people are just kissing her ass. And she figured, and she does have, it seems like she does have some sort of degree of fame in the drag world. They were very excited to see her, but it's almost like, that lasts for a couple of minutes, and then there's like, okay, bitch, you're just my competitor now.
Right.
And I think she thought there would be a lot more deference to her, and that's not the case. So, all right. Returning to the workroom, Kim Chi seems to be doing just fine. Naomi struggles while Naysha Lopez seems overwhelmed.
There's so much stuff that I'm trying not to get overwhelmed, and like I got this and this and this and this and this. I don't do drag on a dime. I don't sew. I'm a pageant girl. I brought so many beautiful garments. I spend money. I don't want to get lost with all the stuff that I got. You know what I mean? There's a fucking piggy bank. A piggy bank. Am I supposed to mount this shit on my head?
Make it work, bitch. Make it work.
The answer to that question is yes. Put the piggy bank on your fucking head.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, I think, and like I told you, she's probably very bummed. She probably did spend a lot of money. But how did she not she'd have to do some sort of, it's not just wearing those dresses. It's like...
Right. Just think of how much easier it would have been if she just like knocked the bottom part of the pig off, wore it as a helmet, and like, had stuff. It was a design on a dime, right? Just had like coins falling down to make the dress, right?
But this is what I don't get, actually, because I feel this is a thing with the Puerto Rican queens. I feel like this is the constant thing with the Puerto Rican queens where I'm like, do you watch the show? They always figured it's going to show up, be fierce, and just win.
It's not only that, but I mean, like, I can attest, and Taylor also, like, if you've gone backstage in a drag show before, it's like, the queens do their own. You've never been upstairs at tracks like during the drag show? Oh, okay. But I mean, it's like the queens do their own makeup, they do their own dresses. Most of the queens sew themselves. They do their own padding. They do a lot of their stuff. So it's like they live in this. A lot of these Puerto Rican queens live in this really weird world. Where it's like, oh, I don't make dresses. Like, wasn't Candy Ho like that too? It's like someone comes in and does my makeup. Someone gives me the dress to wear. It's just I'm just the person that puts it on and goes out there. Right? It's like I don't know why that is.
But then why do they think they would show up on the show and that would just lead them to victory? Like, in fact, when was the last time that just a straight up fierce fashion queen won? I mean, I can't even think. Like, Raja?
Violet.
Yeah, Raja.
Oh, Violet. Yeah, I guess a little
Violet.
bit.
Oh, true. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I think a lot of it also is in the past, we see people that say they can't sew, but we always see it editorially in the process of them overcoming that, right? So like I'm no good at making dresses, and then they end up winning the challenge or something like that. So it's like, I don't think they thought it as seriously, so I think that's kind of like why they made this editorial decision of like going like showing that she didn't make the dress, the judges reading her for it, and then them kicking her off, right? It's just kind of like, enough of this shit. Like we're tired of that storyline of like, I don't know how to sew, I can only use a hot glue gun. Oh girl, you won the challenge, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Rue enters the workroom and walks around visiting each queen. Bob the Drag Queen is super stoked on how hilarious Bob the Drag Queen is. Acid Betty is super stoked on how New York Acid Betty is, while Layla McQueen's visit with Rue didn't seem to make the strongest first impression.
Layla McQueen.
What's going on, lady?
Which challenge did you get?
I got the RuPaul.
Apocalypse. So what do you have planned?
I was given like a few plastic hands and then like a shit ton of camouflage.
I think camouflage is a disgusting component of human culture.
Okay, yeah.
Why is it a disgusting whatever of human culture.
I could see a drag queen not liking camouflage.
Meanwhile, Bob the drag queen was just excited that he had fabric.
I know. Good point. He was like, oh my God, I have just fabric. It's ugly, but it's fabric. Yeah,
I can use this and that pattern and make a dress. And there you go. Challenge accepted.
I feel like they were trying to set that meeting up to almost be like the RuPaul Pearl thing of last season.
Could be. I could see that.
We've got a cute younger queen that is kind of in over her head, and RuPaul's going to do what RuPaul does in every single episode, is stand there and do the or make a comment, and they play the weird read thing.
Right. And because in the end,
silly music like bum bum. Yeah. Bum, 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 and you're like, oh, you're stupid.
With that the little castanet, the little.
Yeah.
Didn't I send you guys a link to something we were supposed to use in the episode with that?
Yeah, you did. I'll have to find that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Move along.
Well, he finds that it's elimination day and the girls are struggling to get ready for the runway. Dax burns himself. Kim Chi throws shade at Bob's clutch, and Naysha lets everyone know that she is not new to winning some contests of her own.
I actually do a lot of pageants, and I won this pageant. It's an international pageant. It's called Miss Continental, and it is one of the most prestigious pageants.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so I'm a former Miss Continental.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hate pageants.
It just sucks that pageants get such a bad rap. I owe a whole lot of my work ethic and who I am to pageant experiences.
You've given me a different outlook on pageants, but girl, I still hate them.
Okay, so what do we think now that we know she won some big, huge pageant?
Miss Continental.
Breakfast.
Yeah, Miss Lincoln Continental.
Well, have you ever seen that, is it called, what's that name of that drag queen documentary, The Pageant?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's a whole weird world.
I can see that. I mean, I haven't watched that, but I had an ex that was like strangely addicted to watching those beauty pageant shows like for the little girls. I could see them as being kind of the same. It just takes a really specific mentality to do that kind of show, right? At some point, right, you're no longer all you care about is just the appearance, right? It's like a horse show, right? It's like the horse ceases to be an animal. It's just a it has to look the right way. Its ears have to be pointing the right way. It's like you've broken it down to its component parts. You no longer see a horse. You just see, oh, he's got a jacked up ear, or his tail is wrong. So I think a lot of beauty pageants are that way, right? You no longer see the queen. The queen is not important. The important part is that her makeup is exactly right and her teeth are exactly right and the padding is exactly right.
Ironically, one of the stars of pageant is that pork chop woman that was the first one that got let go on the first season.
Yeah.
So
I didn't put the clip in there because it would be too long, but there's a part where Chi-Chi says, I don't like pageants, and Naysha's like, oh, did you not win one? Because the girls who don't win usually don't like the pageants. And you're such a bitch, man. Oh my God. So I don't know. I was not a big Naysha fan. I think this helped. It added tinder to my flame. All right, here we go. Meanwhile, we learn Derek's drag herstory. Kim Chi gets as emotional as she's ever been, which wasn't very emotional. Chi prefers cheap makeup, and Acid Betty reads Bob the drag queen.
Bob in his mouth.
It's like madness.
I love it.
Do you really?
He's like a talking head.
When I'm trying to concentrate, I really don't need someone trying to crack one-liners all the time, especially when they're not always funny. Well, he's a comedian, which means I say 300 jokes and 4 of them are funny.
I guess I'm just used to getting ready with girls who's just loud and
See, and I get ready alone.
Y'all know we ain't got no insurance. Now sit down.
Now, before we get into the discussion, I do want to add that as we went into commercial, there was the fakest drama I've ever seen on the show about Chi-Chi's dress falling apart.
Yes.
But then literally come back and it's just like, oh, it's fine. And that storyline went nowhere.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, she was putting on pants or something, but then her final outfit, she didn't have pants on. It was just
and she was safe.
Yeah.
It never even came up.
Isn't it the whole thing? But that's the thing we were talking about with the dress challenges, that there's always one that, and they do this on Project Runway too, where the outfit, they're hot gluing it together at the last minute as they're walking out, and you think, oh God, is it going to be? And there's never a problem. You never hear anything else about it again.
Yeah.
I think that's another example of this. The one thing that I want to talk about with Kim Chi, is it just me, or was she putting on a latex face for her makeup, where it just looks like where she had 3 different colors, but it was so thick, it was like she took the skin off of a dead girl and was gluing it to her face. It was, that was distracting.
I didn't see this.
Oh yeah, no. Go back and watch that. Watch that scene where it's like where it's got ripples in it where it's just so shellacked on.
I think she was trying to make a cat's face, right? So she needed to make her face rounder and bigger out, and I think that was she's a makeup person by profession, right? Isn't she? Because she hadn't told her mother that she was a drag. Is that clip coming up, or is it doesn't matter if it. All right, so her mother knows that she does, that he does makeup and everything. I think that he's like a makeup artist by profession, like he works at a makeup store or whatever. And so what he was doing there was, I don't know. It's probably a YouTube channel I could go and look at and see what he was doing. I don't know.
On the runway, the girls strut their stuff. Now I have the list in order. Do we have specific notes on each one, or?
There's so many of them. I didn't take notes on them.
Are there any that stand out to you that you really liked or that you didn't really like?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Daniel. Give us the ones you really liked.
Acid Betty, I thought was amazing. The dollar bill one was great. I thought that was an excellent outfit. I really liked the way that it came together. I liked the whole look on that thing. Bob's outfit was cute. Him holding out the purse and everything made me laugh. Those two really kind of stood out to me. I like Kim Cheese, and then I'm just trying to see if anyone else on this list really stuck out to me. No one else really stuck out to me. Those were like the three that really stuck out to me.
I agree. I agree with you. I'm looking at the list right now. You know what? Derek Barry got a lot of hatred for. I actually liked it too. It was cute. I mean, you can't do it every week, but
right. It was simple though.
Oh, it was very simple. Well, but that's how I felt. People liked Thorgy Thor's. Thorgy Thor looked like she just got one of the dresses she brought.
Yeah.
And just carried a cake with her.
Yeah. And it was weird which challenges they chose, right? Because some of those challenges were some of them provided much more clothing than the other ones, right? It's like Naomi Smalls had to decorate the float, right? She didn't have to make a dress. She wore one of her dresses underneath, the float. Her task was to decorate that float. Right?
Yeah. And I will say this, as much as I like Dax, I thought that Dax's Hello Kitty outfit was very underwhelming.
It was.
And I expected her to be in the bottom three for that, because other than the weird little stuffed, she had like one Hello Kitty like up as almost like a lapel pin, and then the weird little bow tie thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's not good. They're going to call her on that.
You're a freaking cosplayer. That's your tagline, right? I'm Dax exclamation point. I'm a cosplayer. Right, she doesn't identify as a drag queen. She identifies as a cosplayer. Here you go, bitch. Hello Kitty is like, how many damn conventions are there? Hello Kitty, do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Any ones that stick out for as not good, not so good?
Oh yeah, the one that lost. What's her name? Layla.
Yeah. And Robbie Turner.
No. Hold on. Naisha lost, but Layla was also in the bottom two. Robbie Turner was horrible. That was actually the worst one. Right. Robbie Turner's was the worst outfit.
Robbie Turner looked like one of those dolls that they used to have in bathrooms in the 70s that used toilet paper.
Like a cozy.
That's what that looked like to me.
Like a tissue cozy or whatever.
Yeah, like you jammed a Barbie doll in a roll of toilet paper and drew a red magic marker around the middle of it. And she looked pissed walking down that runway. She just looked annoyed. She knew she was fucked.
Yeah. No, that wasn't that just like a bath mat that she like put a belt on or something. It was very Marshall.
It was fringe.
Yeah. All right. So I apologize. I've gotten my queens wrong. So Naisha was the one that had like the half slit that came all the way up that she's never sewed before. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, and you could see her like, I don't know what you call that thing, but you could see her underwear essentially.
Right. Yeah. No, I didn't.
And I actually didn't like, and I know it's going to sound like it's super, I did not like, Taylor's boyfriend. What's his name again?
Layla
McQueen.
Layla is not my boyfriend. I just think he's cute out of drag.
I thought when he got red for that was weird. He got red for basically not making a bottom and wearing his own boots, right, for that outfit. But it's like, again, I'd like to point out, Naomi wore her own dress. It's like,
they're very inconsistent. I don't get it. All right. Any other thoughts on the runway looks? Any thirsty wigs?
No.
Not Derek Barry. Robbie Turner's wig was you could just look like it was a shit wig that they just kind of put on top. It didn't have that natural look to it, I thought.
And we learned in Untucked that's called what did they call it? I can't afford it's Chi-Chi that was talking about it, but she called them like something. Oh, I can't remember. It was a certain kind of wigs that has some kind of netting up front of it.
Oh, lace front.
Lace front. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
During the judges' critiques, they had high praise for Acid Betty's Moneyball look and Kim Chi's hair challenge look. Meanwhile, 3 of the queens failed to meet expectations.
Next up, Naysha Lopez.
You're gorgeous.
Thank
You're
you.
giving me Eva Longoria, Miss America. Your makeup is stunning.
I think, Naysha, you're beautiful. But when you're part of an ensemble photo, you really want to stand out. The dark hair and the dark top, I don't think it works in this picture.
I have a pet peeve with seeing undergarments. So when you turn around, I see illusion net. Give me the full illusion.
That big gold piece just makes you look thick, and I just don't think it looks good.
This is actually the first garment I've ever made. I don't really sew. I felt like it was wearable, and you know, I got the challenge down.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Naysha Lopez.
Her photo, unfortunately, I think she got lost.
And also, don't stand on that stage and tell us it's the first dress you made.
I mean, this is not the place you make your first dress.
Girl.
You make your first dress when you've learned that you're going to come on the show.
Or you make them when your mom's at work and you're in the 6th grade.
Am I playing them back to back?
That was the first one.
That was Naysha, right? Okay, I'm sorry.
Now let's talk about that right now. What did we agree with the judges' critiques?
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely agreed with that.
Taylor, any
Yes.
any disagreement?
The only thing I want to do is I want to learn how to do that eye cock thing that Michelle Visage did, or the real quick eye cock. I'm going to practice that tomorrow when I'm sitting at my desk at work.
What are you talking about?
At one point, they flash to Michelle Visage, and she does a weird eyebrow cock where it goes up and down real fast.
Yeah, and it says it all. It says like, yeah, queen.
Also, Michelle's makeup was way off this week. Michelle Visage looked really weird. Yeah,
I think it's because she's lost so much weight.
Okay.
Yes, she's in a weird. I used to be fat, but not fat, but I used to be chubbier, and I'm not as chubby anymore. But when I was chubbier, I was more bavoom.
Yeah.
And now she's kind of deflated looking.
Yeah.
I don't. Plus the hair she was always had the huge hair and all that kind of stuff, and now she's got the weird flat ironed parted down the middle. I was not necessarily a big fan of how she looked this week, and I
like her.
love Michelle Visage.
All right, next clip.
Stop, Robbie Turner.
Your photo, I loved, because you're giving me kind of funny glamour there.
You chose
It's like a fringe.
fringy, kind of carpety looking stuff. You're literally a blob. We lose all shape, and from the side, it's even worse.
And you got to choose your challenge.
I actually forgot that to choose one for myself. I didn't have my 40s dress pattern, but I was trying to figure it out like at the last minute. So it was like a series of misfortunate events.
Do you think that you deserve to be in the bottom?
No, I think my personality is winning.
All right, well, moving on down to Robbie Turner.
This look in her photo is probably her go-to look. It's that Carol Lombard meets Carol Burnett, superstar from the 20s.
But what we saw today was basic.
Yes, she said she forgot to choose a category for herself.
The dog ate my category.
Dingo ate my category.
Quite honestly, if she put any creativity into that, she could have turned it out. And that's a shame, because I like what I saw in the picture.
Let's move on.
Okay. Any thoughts on Robbie Turner?
Not other than what they said. I mean, I think we've covered that.
Yeah, we covered it. All right, then move on to the last one.
Up next, Layla McQueen.
Hi, Layla.
Hey, bitch.
I love the shoulder detail.
Did you sew that?
I sewed the jacket, yes.
That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
But I felt like the bottom half was just a cop-out.
This was a really fun category, I think, to do totally singe. To me, it's just like Winona Judd opened the oven too quickly and got a little burnt on the outside.
In the picture, we lose you crumpling up into a ball. You're with all these kind of legendary people, and it's almost like your body's saying, I'm not worthy.
Do you think that your missteps would warrant you in the bottom?
I think I have a lot more to show, and I don't think that I am the least put together.
Who do you think is the least put together?
I think Naomi, her look is very plain.
Do you agree with that, Naomi?
No. I tried to take something that was from a past season and make it new and fresh.
Well, thank you, ladies. I think we've heard enough. Layla McQueen.
She did the most basic bottom half to that. I expect so much more.
This is season 8, and the bar has been raised so high. There was just nothing standing out for me.
The worst picture of the week, by far. But I find her interesting because she is an artist. That warrants a second chance to me.
I will say that picture was awful. It was awful. It was awful.
Or curled up like a little dog. Also, Naomi, these are recycled challenges. Every single one of you is taking an old challenge and trying to put a fresh spin on it. That was the challenge.
Yeah.
That is not an acceptable comeback to that.
Don't attack my boyfriend, Daniel.
I do like the fact that I know that it's usually later in the season when RuPaul tries to stir up drama and ask questions. Who do you think should be in the bottom two? I kind of like the fact that she did that in the first episode.
Well, she saw him open the window.
She saw him open the window.
He opened the door.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Layla McQueen opened the door and said, well, there's other people here who, right. I mean, that's great producing on her part, going like, oh, really? Who?
Yeah.
Because she knows Untucked's going to be really, which actually it kind of fizzled, because if you go on Untucked, Naomi was like, meh.
Yeah, she was like, I'm the only one that got asked that question. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that to you. Oh, I'm used to it. See, I'm quoting from Untucked now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really sad.
By the way, let's stop here and talk about Untucked. Still good.
Untucked was a good episode.
Absolutely. I loved, that they moved it over to YouTube. I still stand by that I think that's great. I found out from our Canadian friend, Turniphead, friend of the show, Turniphead, who filled in one episode last season. He watches it up in Canada, and I guess, they don't have a logo up there. It's on a different channel up there, but their Untucked is still aired up there. So it's like Untucked is aired right after RuPaul's Drag Race. And also they get it in HD, those bastards. We don't.
Well, and the one thing that I think is, I guess this might answer that question then what you just said, is that you can watch Untucked on YouTube for free, but you can also buy episodes of it on iTunes, which I thought was weird. Why would anybody pay for it?
Those were previous seasons, weren't they?
No, season 8. You can do season 8 Untucked, and it's like $16, $17.
Right. That's called the Apple tax, because it's people that just buy into Apple stuff just would be like, what's YouTube? I don't know what that is. So why not?
That makes sense why I noticed that the episodes are exactly like 22 minutes and 17 seconds long. I was like, they don't have commercials, but they do have commercials in Canada. So they have to trim it for
those
that.
Damn Canadians. Yeah. There you go. Go ahead.
All right. After the deliberations, the girls returned to the main stage. Kim Chi won the challenge and $3,000, while Naysha, Robbie, and Layla were in the bottom 3. After Ru declared Robbie safe, Naysha and Layla were the last 2 queens standing and forced to do battle in a lip sync for their lives. The song, Applause by Lady Gaga. After the lip sync was over, Ru rendered her final decision.
Ladies, I've made my decision.
Super dramatic.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was long.
Layla McQueen. Shantae, you stay. You may join the other girls. Naysha Lopez. Out of 100 queens, you are by far one of the most beautiful to grace this stage.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry to see you go so soon.
I'm sorry that I wasn't able to show you everything that I had to offer. Thank you, Ru, for this opportunity.
You did.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Now, sashay away.
I'm afraid I couldn't show you all the dresses I bought. No, you'll do that all right.
Good luck with all these monsters, Mary.
All right, that was her line. She wrote that, yeah.
I know.
No, but doesn't Michelle Visage have that show?
Yes. What'd you pack?
Yeah.
What you packing?
What you packing? Did that go up yet?
I don't know. I haven't seen it on the logo site, but I didn't go and look there today. I just want to say this. It's always sad to be the first contestant off of a show, right? It's just, you always kind of feel, but someone's got to be first. I'm glad that it was Naysha, because she has so many job opportunities now. Just from that last, like the University of Florida, like they do the gator growl thing where they teach the crowd how to do the big gator chomp. She could get a job there doing that. That guy at the beginning of Untucked that like does the clapping thing to make it go from black and white to color. She could come back and do that.
Yeah, she could come back and do that.
That's true. That's very true.
She could direct airplanes on the tarmac, I believe, with some of those semaphores that she was doing there. She could also be in the Navy to like do semaphores to other ships.
She could teach second graders like the less than and more than sign.
But what the fuck was that dance?
Well, then later, I don't know, is it on Tucked or is it on the show where Cynthia Lee Fontaine says, "Oh, she's known for her dancing"?
Yeah, I thought that too. That was after on Untucked, because I was like, "What? No."
Here's the saddest thing about that dance. You know how they do the voiceovers during the lip sync thing, and so they say something like Layla was just turning it out. She was just throwing everything she had. It'd be some queen saying that. The queen that did the comment about Naisha was Kim Chi, and with her mush mouth, I couldn't understand the joke that she was making. I think she was actually making a joke about her doing semaphores or whatever. But
yeah, I think she said she was a soccer mom.
Yeah, she's doing soccer mom claps. Like, come on, guys, you can score another goal.
But it's like, I can't understand Kim Chi after this. Now, again, I love Kim Chi, but work on your diction, honey. Diction.
I thought that as much as we talked about Layla, whatever the hell her name is, and I thought that was a great lip sync. I thought that she really got into it, and I was impressed.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think she'll be around much more than 1 or 2 more episodes, but I was impressed with.
Yeah, as far as quasi lip sync goes, that was great.
Yes,
absolutely.
Are you going to lose interest in the show once she's gone, Taylor?
No, it's not like I'm like beating off to her while she's on.
Whoa, how did it go there? Whoa.
Wow.
It's a knee-jerk reaction. No, she's, and it's not like something where I'm like, or I'm drooling. She's of all of the ones,
right? She's not like you were with Pearl last year, Joe.
I'm not going to be creepy with her like you were with Pearl.
Oh God.
Okay, speaking of jerking off, do we need to see your hands in the camera?
I know. I was so excited when those pictures of Pearl's penis came out.
All right, let's get rid of Naisha here.
Sorry. Finally, Naisha left the competition with some final words.
I am first to go, and I feel like I didn't let Ru see what I'm all about because there's so much more to me. Ru, I want to thank you for the platform that you have given me because not everyone appreciates it. I thank you for that.
This maquette that I will treasure.
Of my heart.
I wonder if she still has that maquette.
The what hat?
That little maquette.
Yeah.
They actually let them leave with them. It was like, no, that was just for show.
Yeah.
Those are expensive, though.
They are. They're like, aren't they like $150?
Yeah. I'm going to get Daniel one.
Yeah, you should. I'll hold it up. I'll say heartfelt things to it when you kick me off the show.
Yeah. Oh, wait. That's what you know what? I'm going to tell Dawn. All
right. First of all, wait. Let's just, let's do our final thoughts in the episode. But before you do the closing of the show, I need to point out we did have email from the first episode that we need to get to. We also need to explain. And we need to explain where Donna is tonight, and we have a shout out to do. So I'm sorry. So go ahead.
All right. So first, ladies, any final thoughts on the episode?
I feel better about this season than I did season 7. I think the fact that she was the first one to go home was a pleasant surprise on a couple of different levels. In that, one, they didn't just pick a forgettable one to go home, and that it kind of shows that things may be different this season enough to where it'll keep my interest. I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, I agree. I think last season, I was like hating Jasmine Masters. Mm-hmm. I was hating Ginger Minge. I was hating I was nonplussed, I would say. I was nonplussed with Pearl and Violet. And I thought it was a very low kind of, You know what I'm saying? Just, it's kind of like this year's presidential election. It's just, I didn't like any of them really. None of them really jump out at me as being great. So it's just I kind of felt that way about that season. This season, I don't dislike any of them at this point. I kind of like all of them. I'm excited to see where it's going to go, and I think it's going to be a great season. So
I'm not a big fan of this Acid Betty. Even though she looks great, she does turn out some good looks.
She does.
But
I hate Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I hate her. So I've already got a couple that I hate, but I just,
Yeah, I agree with Taylor on that one too. But I don't know if I'm as excited about the cast as much. We'll see. I always feel that way about the cast, but I will say you can already tell that the challenges and the overall quality of the show is much better now that they fired everyone.
Yeah, I think this is the Disneyland band thing, right?
What?
They fired the entire Disneyland marching band.
They did,
and then hired a new one. Because they wanted the marching band to get more active and go and do things in the different lands and everything. So the new Disneyland band in California, not Florida, is much more active. They do shows all day long in the different lands, and they play themes for all the different lands. Where the old one were, those were people that had that job for 40 years. They didn't want to march. They didn't want to, so they they had negotiated it down to they would just stand on Main Street and just play once a day, as opposed to, So I think firing everyone from that horrible season last year might have made some good.
It may have done some good. All right, Daniel, I believe you said we have some email.
We do, Joe Betance. We didn't even say on the last show where you could send email, but these are people that emailed us from last year.
So we have stalkers is what you're saying. They figured out our email even though we never gave it to them.
No, we gave it to them last year, but I'm going to give it to people right now. You can email us at rdrr@pride48.com. That is our email address. RDRR, RuPaul Drag Race Recap, RDRR at pride48.com. We have three. Oh, we just got a new one in. All right. This one comes in from Mark, from Musing Mark, who wrote to us a lot last year. Hi, guys. So glad you're back and ready to read these queens for filth. I think Derek Barry will go far in the competition. She has talent and polish of a Courtney act. She may not win, but I think she'll go far. I've heard great things about Kim Chi for years. Again, see, that goes to my whole, I think she's been around longer than 2.5 years. Anyway, I've heard great things about Kim Chi for years and then was thoroughly underwhelmed by her Meet the Queens interview. Wake up, girl. And like I said, I've totally turned around on her. Since she's a Seattle queen, I'm rooting for Robbie Turner, but she's another one that needs to turn up the energy. She's doing classic drag, which I like, but if you're going to be a drag queen, go big or go home. This seems to be a better cast in season 7, but there are still several girls who cannot possibly win. Do you think that when the show is cast, RuPaul knows that half of his girls have no hope of winning? Does he really think that they're all contenders, or is this a mix of different levels of talent intentional?
Yes.
That's it. Do you think it's intentional?
I think there's people he knows are not going to go very far. But they're there for different reasons.
Yeah, I think when they go through it, right, they pick some lower hanging fruit so that you know the first couple of episodes can not be so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of give people a chance to grow into their thing. We got another email here that comes in from someone who wrote us last year. Luke writes us and says, "Hey all, I'm so excited for the new season of RuPaul. It was so wonderful to see their new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap
He wrote that?
No. I said that. Podcast last month. You all definitely cheered me up, so I wanted to thank you for that. I was listening to it right after work on my drive home. It was one of those days where I definitely needed it. It was such a good episode. I was laughing through the whole thing." Oh, thank you, Luke. I still haven't seen the first.
Right, it was a good episode.
It was. I still haven't seen the first episode yet, so I'm not sure how it was. Haven't looked online for any feedback or anything, so not sure how it was, but I have a good feeling about this season. Oh, he's a trusting one here. I had seen the Meet the Queens. I honestly could not remember anybody except Bob the Drag Queen. He was hilarious. When you were all going through the list, I had no clue who anybody was because nobody stood out to me like that. Then last week I was stuck in horrible traffic, so I re-listened to the same podcast episode again. This time, since the traffic was not moving, I pulled up a list of the queens on my phone and their pictures so I could see who you were talking about. So the episode ended up being even better. After looking who all you were talking about, I recalled that Bob the Drag Queen, of course, Dax, Exclamation Point, and Acid Betty. Not too sure why. I like the other two, but they stand out more. We'll see how I feel about them as I end up having any other favorites after I watch episode 1. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm babbling on, he said. I absolutely love you all. That's the only reason I kept going, because I knew he was going to be there. I absolutely love you all. I'm excited to hear you guys' feedback after each episode. Donna Sugars was definitely missed in the last episode. Hopefully she's doing great and comes back to the show soon. Take care, Luke. Thank you, Luke. That's not Luke Miller. But no, it's not Luke Miller.
It's not Luke Miller?
This is Luke with a Q. So this is a very French.
Luke
French
with a Q.
That sounds like a queen for season 9 would have a name like that. Luke with a Q.
Luke with a Q. Yes, thank you so much, Luke. We appreciate that email. If you guys would like to email us, you can. rdrr@pride48.com. The other two ones are things that are business related that are not for the show.
Okay.
There was. I didn't know there was business involved. With this
Right.
We've been missing out here.
This is the website that you sent me, Taylor. This is a website called shadebutton.com, which is just a big red button on this website that if you click it goes.
Oh. Yeah, we need that. We need that up. We need that up.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe you should get it up. I got nothing. Hey, you know what? Before we say where Donna Sugars is, I wanted to say this. I go to a bar to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. I think that is a great thing to do. It's a great group event to go to. and to watch it en masse with a bunch of other people. And I'm not the only one that does it. These things happen all over the country. In fact, in Toronto at the Black Eagle, there is a night called the Dirty Drag Race that happens. They have a drag queen and other folks that host the event there. You can find them, let's see, Drag Race with your host Jenna Side, Jacqueline Hyde, and DJ Alfredo, Monday nights, 9 p.m. in Toronto at the Black Eagle. And make sure that if you're up in that area that you go and look for Turniphead. Tell him that you said, hey, I'm saying that because they, of course, have linked to us off their website. And so for those of you who may have heard about us from the Black Eagle in Toronto, hi, welcome. If you have an event local that you would like to give a shout out to, like I go to 168 York Street here in New Haven, Connecticut. If you would like to have a shout out, just send us an email and I'll make sure that we can shout out to your group. So.
Oh, look at the Black Eagle. And you go to where you go, Daniel?
I go to 168 York Street, which is in
the
downtown.
Blue Pigeon,
downtown New Haven.
You know what? I just watch it sadly by myself.
Wow.
In stretch sweatpants.
I bought the season. I pre-bought the season pass for iTunes because apparently I enjoy the Apple tax. But
Oh no! This show.
Hit the button.
Yes.
Hit the button.
No, this. Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry. You enjoy the what?
I enjoy the Apple tax apparently. So, but I would like to. I'm going to make it a goal. One night this season, there's a new bar in my area. They closed Georgie's Alibi, which is a famous Central Florida.
Yeah,
they closed it, and there's a new one like 2 blocks away because that's the way gay bars are. Excellent. And so I'm going to see if they have a viewing party, and I'm going to try to drag my boyfriend there.
Get it? Drag? Yeah, no, I was going to say I'm going to be
soon to be husband.
I'm going to be
husband.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be in Florida on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? The night that we record, but I won't be there the night that they air, or else I'd say I'll just go with you. Adam and I will just come and go with you because we'll be down in Florida. But we'll actually be traveling that Monday. We'll be up in Charleston, so we're going to find a place in Charleston to go with Big Fatty. Yeah. So that'll be great.
That sounds good.
And that Tuesday, I'm having dinner with you, so that's going to make taping interesting. But we'll
talk about it later. We're probably going to move our dinner to Wednesday. And anyway, so that way that we won't lose 2 people for recording. Or I can just come over.
Me by myself.
Or I could just come over. I could just come over and record it with you. And then
no, absolutely not. Only because I don't have a soundboard. I don't have the right microphone, as we figured out tonight. I will be a blithering idiot the whole time you're there.
Here, you know what? Get the shade button.
I got it.
I'm going to be Daniel. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you don't have a mixing board?
That's an interesting microphone that you have, Taylor.
All right.
Yeah, I just, figured, if you want to be on the RuPaul Drag Race recap show, you want to really bring your A game.
So where is Donna Sugars tonight, Joe Betance? Oh my God, you don't remember?
At the library?
No, she is not.
No, I was giving you the shade at the library.
Oh, she's over at the library. No, actually,
I heard it's open.
Actually, Donna Sugars is in tech rehearsal for a show, and she could not get out of it, and she wasn't going to be available until midway through this show, but she swears that she will be here next week. So we look forward to the return of Donna Shalala Sugars the 4th.
Is it Donna Elizabeth Sugars? Well, that concludes the first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap for Season 8. I want to thank my co-hosts Daniel Brewer and Taylor the Latte Boy. Make sure to visit our website at pride48.com/RDRR, where you can find all of our contact information, leave us a comment, and find all of our old episodes. So, until next week, for Daniel... What? So, for Daniel Brewer, Taylor the Latte Boy, and myself...
Sashay away until next week.
Excellent.
Button.
Okay, was I crackly through the whole rest of the episode? Oh, God, I am so sorry. I will buy a new microphone.
No, you weren't. It cleared up.